All right, good evening, everyone. Calling to order our April 10th, 2025 monthly meeting of the Albany Community Police Review Board. Antoinette Santos, can you please lead us in our roll call?
Sure. Chair Nairobi Vives.
Present.
Secretary John Lewandowski.
Present.
Dr. Vanelia Hardin is absent.
And excused.
Yes. Is Paul Collins Hackett?
I don't believe he's virtual, but he may join virtually, but shared that he wasn't able to attend today and is excused.
Okay. Dr. Victor Collier? Excused, right?
Yes.
Excused absent. Victor Person?
Present.
And Emily Sowick?
Present.
Okay. That's it.
Thank you. I did just receive a text from Batman. He's saying he can't find the link. If someone can maybe send it to him. Okay, thank you. Moving on to the approval of the minutes of our March 13th, 2025 meeting. I'm moving to approve those minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, aye, or raise your hand. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Seeing none, so moved. Do we have any changes or amendments proposed for tonight's agenda? All right, moving on. Now, we do have at least one person here for public comment. If there is anyone else, we do limit public comment to 3 minutes per person. And if there is anybody that would like to share, you can come forward now. Yeah, sure. And there's a button. When you press it, the green light will come on, and the microphone will make you audible to those online.
Good. All right, Aurelio Rodriguez. Yeah, I submitted complaints, 4 officer complaints to you guys on 4/13, another one on 4/8, April 8th. There was no follow-up. The online submission form specifically asks us complainants to send an email to confirm their complaints were received. Nothing happened. I didn't get any confirmation emails. Nobody associated with this room or the CPRB has sent me anything, and that's part of the reason I'm here. I mean, how long should I expect to wait before I receive those confirmations? Whose responsibility is it to respond to the public? I filed complaints on O'Hara, O'Donovan, Cicchetti, Smith, and Officer Cancer, Officer 289, who refused to identify himself. Nobody in this room or anybody associated with the CPRB found the time to respond to my complaint or any of the confirmation emails. I've submitted 4 requests, and this might not be your mission, but I've submitted 4 requests for officer body-worn cameras, body cams, and the APD has always found ways to deny me. They always find ways to deny the public, a random citizen, access to public information. It might not be part of your mission or part of your jurisdiction, but it's an issue. Yeah, my rights were violated by New York State court officers in this building last year. Sergeant Altner, who's one of the guys who mans downstairs during the daytime, might not be there now, prevented me from entering City Hall for over an hour, and threatened to trespass me. Got the paperwork out, tried to sign it, and luckily, Sergeant Franz got his shit together and decided not to violate my rights completely. Yeah. But my point is that when a citizen files a complaint about a New York State court officer, this review board should do its best to forward that complaint to the proper or correct channels. When I complained about Altner, it was just like, suck it up. You could forward that complaint. When someone asks a public servant for their name and position, it should be given. Public servants, too. I mean, our officers are public servants, but you guys are, too, especially when you guys are facing the public. All right? And when a member of the public asks for public information and FOIA requests, it should be given. I mean, if it's public information, give it. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. And Tony will follow up with you after the meeting. Thank you. Moving on to communications from the City of Albany, do we have a report from OPS, Detective Lieutenant Riddy?
Yep, 1 second, let me see if I can't get my camera working here this time. All right, excellent. Hello, everybody, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, so the report from OPS, so since the last meeting, which was March 13th, we've had 6 new complaints received by the office. Within that same time frame, we've had a total of 9 complaints that have been received, or I'm sorry, not received, either completed or forwarded on to me for their final stages of completion. Further breakdown of that is 3 that are completed, and the reports should be sent to the CPRB if they have not been already. 2 of them are with me for review, and then 4 of those were previously reported under super review from the last meeting and have now been moved to the full completed status. So that brings us totally to 9 that are out of the detective's hands and in the final stages. We did have a successful meeting with the CPRB investigations. I believe it was last Thursday. Mr. Lewandowski and Ms. Santos came over to the office. We kind of got on the same page as far as where we stand with our open investigations, the assigned detectives, so that way all the information that the CPRB has should be the same information that the Office of Professional Standards have. Business outside of the norm, right now it looks to be we are in the final stages of the hiring process. I know I've been saying this the last several meetings. Between all the different stages of the hiring process, right now our number is at 15. So there are a couple other ones that just need to finalize some stuff, but we're hopeful to have 15 new officers that will be getting trained within the police department. Other than that, that is all that I have from the Office of Professional Standards, unless anyone has anything specific for me.
Thank you for that report. Congratulations on the new officer starting, and I too heard that the meeting was very successful, so thank you for your help with getting those complaints straightened out. Any questions from board members for Detective Lieutenant Riddy? That's it for us, thank you. Moving on to the next item on our agenda, do we have any announcements from any board members? I don't have any announcements myself either, so we'll move on to the report from the chair. I think most of the topics of interest to everyone will come up in our committee reports. I do want to just say, and my message, that this is a challenging time during this transition, but we've been working well with the partners that we have to come out on the other side, hiring new support for the board, and to complete this transition process. So we've updated the public and the community on our new office space. We have some updates on the hiring of a new program director, hopefully soon, some temporary support staff, and we are hopeful that once we get those people up and running, we will be able to return to our normal case review activities in our normal case review process. But that's it for me, other than I just want to thank all of us here, all the board members. Thank you for your hard work. Like I said, it has been a challenging few months for us, but you all have been rallying, doing your job, and keeping everything afloat, so thank you for that. Moving on to committee reports. Tony, do you have a report from Bylaws and Rules?
No, nothing, no.
Thank you. Batman isn't here for community outreach. For that, I will add that there will be an event with Eva Bass and I believe a village on April 25th.
Where will it be? I'm sorry. Where will it be?
I'm not sure of the location. I'll update you, but I'm going to go, and Eva and I saw each other over the weekend. We talked, and there was apparently some questions that community members have, so I'm going to go talk about the complaint process, where we are in our transition. If there are any board members that want to attend, I'll share that, and we can go together. Other than that, any updates or questions on community outreach? Okay, moving on. John, do you have a report from the investigation committee?
Yes, thanks very much, President. We had a very productive meeting with Lieutenant Riddy with regards to making sure we're on the same page for all of our cases. We currently have 34 cases that are on our docket to go through, and that's not counting the 4 investigations we're currently performing. With regards to our investigations, T&M will be on to talk about a subpoena we'll need for an existing investigation. But again, I'd like to thank Lieutenant for reaching out with us and making sure that we in the APD are all on the same page with regards to cases coming in and making sure they get case numbers so we could respond to complainants, as well as to make sure that we can assign cases to our staff for our members as well as our monitors. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Any questions for John? Okay, moving on to mediation. Dr. Harden is excused today. She did not have any updates, but did say she wanted to reach out via email to APD leadership on the status of the mediation contract or agreement that we program that she's been working on. So we will be reaching out about that soon, and hopefully be able to follow up in subsequent meetings. And Dr. Harden is also the head of the Police Department Liaison Committee, and we will table her report until our next meeting. Moving on to my committee, the Public Official Liaison Committee. We meet on the 4th Tuesday of every month at 4, and have for 2025 have not commenced meeting yet. I'm hopeful that this month will be our first meeting, and would like to tackle some of the issues that we talked about, including mediation, our discipline matrix. And so we'll report on our May meeting about our April Public Official Liaison Committee, but those will be reconvened shortly. Any questions for me? All right. Moving on, we have no items for old business, so I'm moving us into new business, and the first item is the consideration of subpoenas. We have subpoenas for officer interviews related to AD 2022-02, and this is with the investigation team of T&M. Do we have Julie or Marty on?
I'm on. No, Ruby, I'm on.
Hi, Julie.
Hi. So thank you. So as you know, we have done some of the interviews on AD 2022, and as a result, some information needs to be clarified. So I'm asking for 2 subpoenas for 2 officers, Officer Kelly and Officer Werner, for the board to grant permission to do that. And I believe those will be the last officers we will need on that case.
I'd like to make a motion for 2 subpoenas for the mentioned officers with regards to AD 2022-02.
Thank you, John.
I second.
Thank you, Tony. Before we vote, any items for discussion for Julie? All right, seeing none. All in favor, aye, or raise your hand. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, so moved. Thank you, Julie.
Thank you, Ruby. I will send them to you tomorrow for your signature. I'm just trying to work out the date with the defense attorneys.
Okay, perfect. I'll sign those for you tomorrow. And then moving on to our other item under new business, the consideration of the renewal of our attorney's contract for Michael Goldstein. And under the existing contract, there are options for 1-year renewals, and as we all know, Mike is working on serious important litigation for us. So I am moving that we exercise that renewal clause in the contract. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Tony. All in favor? Aye, or raise your hand.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, so moved. Thank you. And as we discussed, there are no complaints to review this evening. I do want to say just on this section on the agenda, like we said, we're hoping to get staff in place and be back to normal, up and running to review the cases that our investigative team is working on and that are in the queue for review shortly. So thank you for your patience through this process. And with that, I move to adjourn tonight's meeting. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Have a good night. Thanks, Julie, and thank you, Detective Lieutenant Riddy, for joining.
Thank you, Nairobi. Thank you, Detective, for all your help this week.
All right, meeting adjourned.
Night, everybody.